Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to another Liverpool news episode for you guys this evening. Well, first of all, let me know how all of you are in the comment section down below. Apologies, I reckon my light's really bright tonight. I don't know why, but sorry if I do look like Casper the Ghost again tonight. Anyway, but of course, we are here to speak about the latest Liverpool news, and of course, we are going to speak about Ivan Ndicka. Of course, the Frankfurt French international defender has been linked to Liverpool over the last day or so. Of course, we're going to be speaking all about that in tonight's episode. But of course, we're going to be speaking again about Mason Mount and even further details coming out today. Of course, about his price tag, and obviously Chelsea. Spoilers are looking at a ridiculous amount of money for Mason Mount, and of course, we're going to be speaking about Lucho. Of course, Luis Diaz is back in training. Of course, Liverpool social media was, of course, glaring in the fact that Luis Diaz is back from injury and is raring to go as well. So, could we see him against Manchester City on Saturday afternoon? Of course, we'll be talking more about that in tomorrow's match preview show for, of course, the Man City game. But again, guys, let me know your guys' thoughts. Will Lucho have some part to play against Manchester City as well? Anyway, but again, let me know all of you are in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts on all the stories that we mentioned in tonight's episode as well. If anyone is new around here as well, then please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button as well. And don't forget to hit that share button as well, guys. It'd be very much appreciated as well. But we will dive straight into the news then. And of course, we're going to be speaking about Ivan Ndicka, of course, the Frankfurt French international, who is going to be leaving the Bundesliga club on a free transfer at the end of the season. And of course, Dave Maddock has mentioned the fact that Liverpool are interested in signing free agent Ivan Ndicka this summer as well. He did also go on to say Ndicka ticks all the boxes as far as Liverpool are concerned because he is available on a free and is perfect profile. He is also versatile as a left-sided defender who has covered in the left back role and even occasionally as a holding midfielder as well. He did also go on to say the fact that he is available on a free transfer would allow Klopp to focus on his summer transfer kitty on his midfield rebuild with the expensively priced Jude Bellingham and Mason Mount among his targets as well. But he did have a little bit of a negative side towards it as well, saying that Liverpool are aware that other Euro giants such as PSG and Barca have been linked, but Ndicka is yet to decide on his destination, though as a Parisian, the French side may have an advantage if they chose to seriously pursue him as well. So let me know your guys' thoughts as well on Ivan Ndicka. For me, I think, look, if Liverpool could get him, if he is a part of Liverpool's plans, for me, it's a brilliant signing in that sense. Of course, we already know we've had one very good defender coming out of the Bundesliga on a free transfer, and of course that being Joel Matip. But I do feel that a little bit not can lightning hit twice in that regard. But of course, with rumors and speculations coming around, of course, there was a rumor that he had already agreed personal terms with Barcelona back a couple of months ago as well. I've said that I think that he would have gone to Barcelona, but of course, with their financial issues at the moment, it is all in the air at the present moment in time as well. But not only to get, of course, what Dave Maddock has also mentioned as well. Neil Jones has had his say on Redmen as well, speaking today, in fact, on the Redmen TV, saying, unfortunately, the conversations I've had about the player have been, I wouldn't say a hard no, but a firm no. Jones told Redmen TV he obviously looks like he's going to move somewhere in the summer. There's a lot of clubs also linked in that story. When I looked at it, I thought, yeah, a young lad from the Bundesliga, played Europa League, played Champions League, French under 21 international, good size, free transfer. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I have had to say that the people that I've spoken to around the around Liverpool and around the club have poured cold water on it, and I believe them to be fair as well. So again, Neil Jones saying there that again it's not completely untrue, but again the people that he has spoken to, what they've told him is look. There's no truth in that story as well. So again, a little bit of who do you believe? Dave Maddock, Neil Jones as well. I think, look, if Liverpool can get him, of course, that, like as Dave Maddock has mentioned, it would massively help Liverpool get, a defender in the door who's left-sided that we want, and the fact then that we can think about, you know, midfield rebuild and don't then have to spend a huge transfer fee on a defender for at least this summer, at least anyway. And that's the thing for me where we speak about, Jude Bellingham, we'll speak about Mason Mount in a brief moment. But again, Liverpool need a centre half this summer. And if we can get Ndicka, I said back in February that I think that Liverpool should go after Ndicka, left-sided centre half. Again, very well versatile, plenty of experience. I think looking at what a few Bundesliga people have been saying as well, it is a very similar build to Kanate in that sense. So again, if he is any good as Ibu Kanate, then what, it'll be very much a good signing. But again, obviously, like I said to you guys just now, Barcelona do seem to be the favourite if they can sort out their financial issues as well. So again, it would be interesting to say the least. For me, again, like I said, I think Liverpool have so many targets that we don't know about yet in terms of defenders and midfielders that again we'll hopefully find that out in the next couple of weeks or months. But obviously, if it was to be true that Liverpool are interested in Ivan Ndicka, for me, I'd be happy. I think he is a very good centre half. Just looking at what I've seen of him so far and all of that as well. But let me know your guys' thoughts as well in the comment section down below as well. Evening, Brian. Hopefully on a fantastic day. My friend saying, I thought that guy had agreed to join to Barca. Hope we can get him now. Again, there was reports suggesting that he was all signed and all ready to go to Barcelona, but of course, at the moment they're having, of course, contract problems. Obviously, look at Gavi's situation. Look at the situation where they're talking about Barcelona potentially needing to sell around, I think, £200 million worth to at least make a signing in the summer window as well. So again, it's going to be interesting for Barca over the next couple of weeks. And obviously then Brian saying Neil Jones, he believes over Dave Maddock as well. I think Dave Maddock, he does get some things wrong, but again, he does get a lot of things right as well. But in saying that, I do very much put Neil Jones in that like top tier bracket for Liverpool news. Again, it's not obviously if Neil Jones, as people are saying to him, that it's not happening. Of course, if they put water on it a little bit, there's nothing much there. Then I personally would go more towards Neil Jones as well. But again, I'm not saying that it's completely done and dusted, of course, because again, Dave Maddock might know more things than what Neil Jones knows. We don't know. But again, Ndicka does fit a lot of the boxes for Liverpool as well. And I think, to be fair, again, like we said, a free transfer, and you look at the defenders that are on a free this summer coming up. There's not a lot, and the ones that are there, the top level ones, of course, it's a Skriniar for Inter Milan. He's already gone to PSG, or has already agreed he's going to go up to PSG at the end of the season. So again, it's if you're looking for top level third, fourth choice centre halves, which lucky Ndicka would be a third or fourth choice, obviously with Ibu and Virgil being 1 and 2. I think obviously Ndicka being 3 or 4 with a Joe Gomez or Joel Matip, it's quite easy to see as well. But yeah, there isn't that many good quality centre halves unless you're paying the big bucks, and obviously the big bucks is Garvidal, which of course Liverpool aren't going to be paying. I think what is it, like 150 million? I think Leipzig would sell him for, which again Liverpool are not doing that this summer at least anyway. But yeah, a few, yeah, absolutely as well. But just let me know your guys' thoughts as well on the Ndicka news in general, if you're watching on the repeat or watching live as well anyway. But I am going to talk now then and move on slightly to a topic that we've been speaking about for what seems like forever now, and that is Mason Mount. Of course, Chelsea's former star boy, I should say anyway. But of course, James Pearce bringing up today, saying an interesting piece on Mason Mount's future. Liverpool definitely interested, ticks a lot of boxes in terms of his age, profile, skill set, and homegrown, and etc. Chelsea want around £70 million, but difficult to see anyone paying that for a player down to the final year of his contract, which, again, £70 million. I mentioned this in the potential signing video. We've seen how Chelsea have been in terms of buying players, and we've seen them how ruthless they've been in terms of spending, but we've never seen them sell any of their assets. And if they want around 70 million for Mason Mount, he's not going to be going anywhere. I can't see Liverpool, I can't see City, I can't see United spending 70 million on a 1 year left contract in terms of Mason Mount. Again, that would be ridiculous if anyone did spend 70 million on him. And I get the fact that you've got that English tax and, again, Premier League rivals in terms of Chelsea, but you could literally sign him in 6 months' time on a free. That's how difference it is. Like, that's how bad it is in terms of Chelsea's valuation. For me, like I mentioned in the potential signing video, I think if you're looking around 40, 45 million, I think that's where Mason Mount is, if I'm being honest. I can't see him going for any more than that anyway. But again, obviously, Jacob Steinberg as well also mentioned the fact that Liverpool are rebuilding their midfield and believe they have a good chance of signing Mason Mount this summer as well. And obviously, I think there's been a few other Chelsea-based journals today saying that, again, the team that looks most likely to sign Mason Mount if he was to leave Chelsea is Liverpool Football Club. So again, it's just the same old story in terms of that. But of course, today we've had a confirmed price tag for Mason Mount that 70 million pounds, I should say, is the transfer price set for Mason Mount at the present moment in time. And for me, if, again, like I said, if Chelsea think that they are going to get that much for him, they've got absolutely no chance of selling him this summer. And of course, obviously, there's obviously a report out there suggesting that they need to sell. I think it's around 50 million or 50 or 60 million in terms of just to level out the books, not to make profits or anything. So again, it's going to be a very chaotic summer for Chelsea in terms of ins and outs for the club. But again, it'll be interesting to see, because I know obviously I think United and Chelsea might fight out for Victor Osimhen as well in the summer, and they might need to get funds with that. But again, in terms of Mason Mount, I think even Neil Jones mentioned it today on Redmen. Chelsea are just living in a dream world if they think they can get 70 million for Mason Mount. And yeah, it's like I said though in the potential signing video, that for me is the problem. We haven't seen what the Chelsea new regime is in terms of selling players. Like, we've seen how they have been in terms of signing players, but we haven't seen them selling any yet. Well, for a significant amount at least anyway. And that's for me the big difference in terms of that anyway. But again, guys, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, because I'd like to know your guys' thoughts. And again, I think that realistically, was Mason Mount worth 70 million at one point? Probably. Back probably 2-3 years ago. Is he worth that now? No, absolutely not. No, in my opinion. Unless you spend Gafferdoll money, yeah, exactly. And even then, like, obviously, like I said to you guys, Gafferdoll for me doesn't move in the summer. I think he moves around probably next summer. I think he has one more year at Leipzig and then moves to a big club. I would say at least anyway. But Gary's in as well, so Tally all been as well. Hello, Gary. Hope you're having a fantastic day, my friend. Brian saying Chelsea taking the piss there. Yeah, no, they are absolutely. They're firmly taking the piss. Chelsea can bolt at 70 million. Absolutely agree. Doug, as well. Again, I don't think that they will. I don't think they will get that. And if they aren't going to budge on that, then he'll just go on a free in the summer. That's the thing with Chelsea, where I think Chelsea just think, oh yeah, we'll put 70 million up and someone will come in for him. We'll let go of Mason Mount, blah blah blah, and then yeah, no, he's just not worth it. No way is anyone paying that for him. Absolutely agree. They're just playing the game in the media. I don't know, Brian. I think there is a part. There's some part truth in it. I do think that they are trying to, of course, maximize the price. And of course, if you went, I think even if they went, 50, 55 million, I still think someone like United would come in for him. Look how stupid United have been in terms of money. They spent 100 million euros on Anthony, for God's sake. Like, Anthony, he hasn't set the world alight this season. Remember at the start of this season when United fans were saying, "Oh, he's better than Salah, he's better than Saka." Those two are Saka and Salah are in a complete different world than Anthony. Anthony probably has the potential to get there if he stops being a fidget spinner, but that's again that's just shite. They're just playing the game in the media. Yeah, absolutely. How do I get Sume as well? Is that Gil? I don't know. Thank you, Brian, as well. Who has been the flop of the season, in your opinion, and why? Is his name Richarlison? Flop of the season. If it's not Richarlison, then it's Anthony, in my opinion. Yeah, either Richarlison or Anthony, I'd say, Doug. How much will they ask for Lukaku? 100 million, probably. But we know it. We know that Inter are going to send him back because I think he's been injured most of the time, wasn't he, since his loan deal move. So it begs the question of where does he go? I'm just trying to think. Where does Romelu Lukaku go at the end of this? At next season? Button. I was going to say Bayern are looking for a striker, but then that'd be insulting to Bayern. I don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Where would Lukaku go next season? I genuinely think Potter might use Lukaku. I genuinely think Lukaku might get used next season, especially if they can't get Victor Osimhen. I think if they can't get Osimhen, they will 100% go for they'll 100% just play Lukaku. 100% they're going to be doing that. Anthony Doug, 86 million. Yeah, that's a shout. Yeah, for me, it's either Richarlison or Anthony, in my opinion. There's a story today about Tuchel wanting him at Bayern. Could be 2+2 though. Yeah, I mentioned in the potential transfer video. Brian, if you watched that video, I did mention it. For me, I think Bayern could be the only club to stop Liverpool getting Mason Mount in terms of obviously Thomas Tuchel and obviously it's well known as well. But it's a little bit mixture, isn't it? We've got for me, I was listening to Anfield Rap earlier on, and they've just fully convinced me to go just 100% go after Jude Bellingham, and that's it. Genuinely, obviously they were talking about early on and talking about the summer, and they were mentioning, of course, I don't obviously if you guys listen to it, obviously please go and listen to it because, excuse me, quite obviously they were talking about the summer and speaking about transfers and so on, and obviously Jude Bellingham was the number one target around it, but of course it was a multiple of people they were speaking about. It was actually a really, really good show, to be fair, as well. But is Haaland still out? We'll speak about that more towards tomorrow, Albert. But yes, he is still out. But of course, we'll speak about that more tomorrow for the match preview show. But not sure. I think it's a ruse as well for who, Mark, in terms of Mount. Richarlison and Anthony, 100%. Yeah, absolutely agree. Anthony, because of his price, Mudryk is getting there too as a flop. I don't know, I just don't think Chelsea needed him. The one, actually, no. What I will say to you guys, and he's not the total flop. Joe Felix, 12 million. Chelsea spent on him for 6 months. Has he done anything? He scored 1 goal in the Champions League, I think. But apart from that, has he done anything else? Again, 12 million quid, where, again, you're not going to have him for the majority of the season. Like, in terms of, you're not going to have him for next season. And then that, I just think that I think Joe Felix might be up there as well. Haaland was definitely injured. He pulled out of the World Cup qualifier games, not friendlies. Yeah, again, it swings around about with Haaland. I still have the feeling that it's a mind games. It's mind games from City for Liverpool and Arsenal in that regard. Drop a like, Connor. Will be in and out as well. No problem, Mark. Thank you very much for being in here anyway. Lukaku has picked up 4 and 5 goals in his last 3 games. Again, no, like, he hasn't done. I don't know. For me, I think Lukaku is a weird one. I think in a slow league he can do it. It's just the Premier League he can't. Or you have to. But then I'm also saying that, but he did it for those first 6 games, didn't he? When he re-signed for Chelsea, and I'm like, I look at that and I'm like, surely you play towards his strengths. Like, I know that I think Tuchel tried to change things around when I think he was trying to mix both Werner and Lukaku in the team, but and it quite clearly didn't work. I think obviously interplay towards his strengths, but for me, I just think again, there's no way Lukaku should be worth 100 odd million quid. No chance. But still, that's my thoughts and opinions anyway. Lukaku to Roma if Abraham leaves. Can see it. Bellingham or bust, as Albert, agree. Bellingham bust is okay too. I shouldn't have read that one out. Thank you, Albert. Haaland not being fit might be on the bench as well, for God's sake, Albert. I should have read that. I read it first and I thought you retyped the same thing. So I just put it on the screen. For God's sake, Albert, you're going to get me banned. Raheem Sterling as well, says Doug. Calvin Phillips, that's another shout to be fair. The problem with our football club is they literally Jekyll and Hyde don't know who turns up. I think in terms of just, what's funny about this season, it's been what I think mainly with Liverpool this season is when you look, just for example, the injury problems. It's been certain. We've had injuries all over the team this season, but we've had, 1 minute it's all the attackers are out, next minute all the midfielders are out. We've got Virgil, Canate out. Then we're playing, Nat Phillips and Joe Gomez next to one another because Matip's then injured, and that we've there's always each department of the team, so defenders, midfielders, and attackers. There's been 1 minute that section is fixed and healthy, and then you have this problem going forward. Then it's when you think about it now, this is the first time this season that all of the attackers have been fit this season. That's mental. It's absolutely mental. When I say all of them, I mean all of them. What else do we have? I disagree. Bellingham alone won't solve our problems. He won't solve them alone, but I think I think I can't remember. I think was it Anfield Rap that said it earlier on. Yeah, in terms of, I think Neil Atkinson said it perfectly. When you look at Liverpool teams in the past and look at Premier League winning sides as well, they've always had a midfielder that was by far one of their best players in their team. You look at us when we won our league, when we won the title, Jordan Henderson was by far the best player on our team. And again, that might, anger a couple of people, but again, he was the main not the main focus, but he was the main person pushing the side. And then you had the likes of course, Alisson, Virgil van Dijk, Mo on top of it as well. And when you have a good midfielder and a midfielder that's performing, superbly well, then of course you have all the chance of winning the league. Like look at City, when they won their first league title, and going to a couple of others. Yaya Toure could play excellently as an 8, as a 6, as a 10. It was perfect for versatility wise, and that's what Liverpool need. Liverpool need that because Jude can play. He can play as a 6, can play as an 8, could even possibly play as a 10. Like that's how good he is. And of course, again, like obviously we'll speak about Jude Bellingham, obviously probably tomorrow or again in other videos, but it does feel a little bit like that. If Liverpool don't get him, it is all or bust in terms of getting him. I would say anyway. All the players we want will have their price jacked up 100%. Saying it doesn't matter, get him regardless as well. Absolutely. We haven't been vegetable for 2 years. Hey Jude, the rest will follow as well. Yeah, absolutely. But we're gonna move on from Mason Mount, and we're going to talk about Luis Diaz, of course, coming back to full training today. Of course, was Liverpool quite obviously made it well known on social media that Luis Diaz is back and training, and could feature, of course, against Manchester City. Of course, I think the whole debate at the moment is, how long does he get? Does he come on? Does he even get named on the bench for Man City? Of course, we'll know more tomorrow. With Jurgen Klopp's press conference, hopefully have a bit more clarity on whether or not he'll actually be in the squad to begin with, and whether or not he'll be fit enough to start at least anyway. But again, these two, Darwin Núñez obviously back in training as well, with of course didn't go to the international break due to his foot injury as well. So again, Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez, that's a frightening pair. I'd say, at least anyway, and this is the big running now, guys. Again, there's only 12 13 games left now in this season to get top 4, and of course we've got 3 very big games, huge games, massive games this week, with Man City, Chelsea and Arsenal. And of course Liverpool this season, apart from Real Madrid, have shown up in the big games. And again, we'll speak obviously more about this tomorrow, but for me, he will be, like, obviously with Luis Diaz back, we've seen how positive it was when he came in January last season. I feel like it's going to be exactly the same in terms of pushing for top 4, and hopefully Liverpool can get top 4. But again, that's the thing, and the big question mark of will we see him play on Saturday? And for me, I think, look, he's 100% on the bench. It's then the question of how ready is he? Obviously, he hasn't played for 5-6 months, and again, it's going to be difficult for him. We've seen how difficult it's been for Diogo Jota over the last couple of weeks trying to get back to match fitness, and I feel like it's going to be quite similar with Luis Diaz. So again, if it's only a 10-15 minute appearance, and then obviously then he can be fit and healthy for maybe Chelsea on the midweek, or even Arsenal the following week. But again, it's not going to be these next 3 games. I feel like with City, you can have a little bit of a hit and run because, of course, with City, in saying that, though, of course, Haaland looks like he's going to be out. Obviously, Phil Foden's also out as well. So, Liverpool can get at City if they wanted to. But again, it's Liverpool 12:30 on a Saturday. We don't know what Liverpool side's going to turn up. Hopefully, one that wants to get top 4 and absolutely batter Manchester City. I hope and dream, but again, will that happen? I'm not entirely sure. But are we just getting the majority of England clubs? Well, probably, absolutely. Darwin will be so pivotal on Saturday in the cup. He caused City so much problems. Yeah, he did. Again, it's mad to think that I think Darwin missed two big chances in that game, and we still only lost by two, one goal. Obviously 3-2 we lost in that game. So, and again, we've obviously beat City twice this season. Obviously, once in the Community Shield, and then of course last time out at Anfield as well. We're going to talk about a bit more tomorrow, but I wouldn't even be surprised if Liverpool started you know, two midfielders and then four attackers tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry, on Saturday. I keep thinking today's Friday for some reason, but that for me is what's going to be interesting. Does Klopp go with the three in midfield? Does it go with two? I think it's going to be interesting to see what Jurgen does on Saturday. But again, we'll know probably more on tomorrow's press conference on what Jurgen's thinking and what he's who's fit and who's available then. But would you start Jota or Gakpo? I think Gakpo probably. I think Liverpool. If Luis Diaz isn't fit enough to start, I think you're most likely gonna start with Nunes, Gakpo, and Salah probably. If it is a four, then Jota and Gakpo in that regard. But again, I don't want. This was the problem with me with Darwin Nunes against Madrid. Darwin's best chances in that game, or Liverpool's best chances in that game, was when Darwin was at striker. You could put Jota on the left. You don't need to put Darwin on the left. But again, that's just an opinion for tomorrow as well. But if we're going for three, I'd say Gakpo starts Zayn, in my opinion, at least anyway. But we're going to run through back through the stories of today's episode. Anyway, of course, we've spoken about Ivan Ndicka, as well, of course, the Frankfurt defender. Leaving on a free in the summer, of course, and of course Dave Maddock has said that he obviously Liverpool are interested in signing free agent Ivan Ndicka this summer. He does go on to say that Ndicka ticks all the boxes as far as Liverpool are concerned because he is available on free. He's perfect profile. He's also versatile. Has a left-sided defender who has cover on the left, cover as left back and even as a holding midfielder. He did also go on to say as well that in fact that he is available on free transfer would allow Klopp to focus the summer rebuild kitty on the midfield rebuild with expensively priced Jude Bellingham and Mason Mount among his targets. We did also mention a negative point to this as well, saying that Liverpool are away of the Euro giants such as PSG and Barcelona have been linked, but Ndicka is yet to decide on his destination. Though as a Parisian, I think that's how to pronounce it, the French side may have an advantage if they choose to seriously pursue him as well. But Neil Jones also had his say on the situation with Ndicka in saying that unfortunately the conversations I've had about the player have been, I wouldn't say hard no, but a firm no. Jones told Redmond TV. He obviously looks like he's going to move elsewhere in the summer. There's a lot of clubs also linked in that story. When I looked at it, I thought, yeah, a young lad from the Bundesliga, played Europa League, played Champions League, French and under 21 international, good size, free transfer. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But he did also go on to say that, but I have to say that the people I've spoken to around Liverpool, around the club, have poured cold water on it, and I believe them to be fair as well. So let me know your guys' thoughts as well on Ndicka, and let me know, would you have him at Liverpool if the rumours are true. Of course, we've spoken about Mason Mount as well, and what James Pearce also brought up, saying interesting piece on Mason Mount's future. Obviously, Liverpool interested, but he did also go on to say that Chelsea want £70 million for Mason Mount, but difficult to see anyone paying that for a player down to the final year of their contract. And of course, Jacob Steinberg also saying that Liverpool are rebuilding their midfield and believe they have a good chance in signing Mason Mount this summer as well. As I forgot to take that bloody down, which is great, at least anyway. And of course, we've mentioned Luis Diaz as well. Lucho is back. Will he start against Manchester City? Will he be part of the squad? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. For me, I think he'll be on the bench. I'd love him to start, and hopefully Jurgen brings us good news tomorrow. It may be he might have a starting chance, but again, I think obviously he's going to have such an impact on the rest of the season for Liverpool, and it's just trying to keep him in cotton wool for now, and then of course we don't want him to get injured or re-injured in that regard, at least anyway. Let me know your guys' thoughts as well. If anyone's watching on the repeat as well, then let me know your guys' thoughts in the chat down below as well. We are currently, I want to quickly check, what are we on in terms of likes? We're on 10 likes, guys. If we can get to 15, we very much appreciate it as always. Couldn't speak then. But if we played with a front three, it has to be Salah, Nunes, and Gakpo as well. I would agree, absolutely. Would you take Mane back? No, I personally wouldn't take Sadio Mane back. I love Sadio Mane and love what he did for Liverpool Football Club. But I just think that maybe it was time to say goodbye to Mane. But again, I love Sadio Mane, and I hope that again Thomas Tuchel gets him firing for the Bundesliga. Well, I say the Bundesliga. I actually don't know the Bundesliga. I want Dortmund to win the bloody competition, but at least the Champions League. I want Sadio Mane scoring a hat trick against Man City. That's what I want, at least anyway. But yeah, I like again. Would I take Mane back? No, that would be me again. I love Mane, but no, I think it was the right time to move on. I think at least anyway. Second half, if needed. What about Genie? Will you take him back? No. Uh, again, a similar player type to Genie Wijnaldum, absolutely. If we're talking about actual Genie Wijnaldum, no. Again, Genie has passed it a little bit, but again, if we had a similar player like Genie Wijnaldum and had him, and had a player that was like exactly like him, yeah, 100%. But again, I think we spoke about it. I think last week as well. Like again, Liverpool haven't replaced Genie Wijnaldum. Like in serious, in serious talk, we had never replaced Adam Lallana in real talk as well. So, in my opinion, Diaz only gets the last 5 to 10 minutes on Saturday. Again, I think again people have different views on it. I think you could definitely see him. I could definitely see him not even playing. I could see him being named on the bench but not playing. But yeah, I think it'll just depend on how Liverpool are. If Liverpool are losing 3-0 in the first half, then of course, no, keep him on, keep him on the bench. But if Liverpool are winning, say, 2-1 or it's 1-1, I think Luis Diaz comes on. To be honest, but is Genie back playing? Yes, he is. I think did he score the other day for Roma? I know he played for Holland, I think, if my memory serves me correct. But again, not entirely sure. Simultaneously is why we've been poor. Some players in the squad should have been here, and we needed to be more ruthless in the summer. Yeah, I don't even think it's with the players that are here though. Saying like, I think Liverpool needed to be a bit more ruthless in the transfer market. In terms of selling, yes, I would agree slightly, but in terms of just buying as well, I think Liverpool should have been a lot more ruthless. I think Liverpool, there had to be a plan B for Tuchemeni, but there clearly wasn't. Um, Liverpool and Jurgen and the owners thought that Liverpool could last maybe one more year with the same old midfield, and quite clearly we couldn't. But I think Liverpool realised that. I think probably 2 weeks into the season, 3 weeks into the season, that we needed midfielders, and yeah, it was just too little, too late. Because as Jurgen said, we'll try and do something at the end of the market, and then here comes what £3 million worth of Arthur Mello. Again, what's he done since coming in? But Wright wasn't sure after his injury. Yeah, no way. I think he came back a couple of weeks ago, didn't he? And I think he scored for Roma I think he played for Holland as well in the recent internationals as well. I think we're not entirely sure. I think there's a chance we go 4-2-4, probably. Albert, I'm sorry. Yeah, there is a chance. We play that weird 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2-4. But again, we'll have to see tomorrow after what Jurgen says about, of course, certain injuries, and just seeing where the team is in terms of who's available and who's not, in that regard as well. Anyway, but guys, I'm going to leave it there for tonight. Anyway, big thank you to all of you guys for tuning in to tonight's video. Again, if anyone's new around here, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button as well, and please don't forget to hit that share button as well. Of course, we will be live tomorrow with our match preview for Liverpool versus Manchester City, or Man City via Liverpool, of course. First game back after the international break. Are we looking forward to a chat? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. For me, if this was 4:30 on a Sunday, the game, I'd go, yeah, sure. I'm relatively excited for the Reds to hopefully change this horrible season around, like I've said all season long. But 12:30 on a Saturday, Jesus, it's going to be absolutely horrific, isn't it? It's going to be horrific as well. Anyway, but Anne says we need minimum 6 points from the next three. Absolutely agree. Yeah, at least still a long run left. Again, 13, is it 12, 13 games left? Again, hopefully Liverpool can sort this bloody season out, get top four, and then just totally go crazy in the summer, and just get players in the door, get a rebuild going, and hopefully we'll be back to where we should be. Thanks everyone. Will be a game and a half as well. But yeah, well, Liverpool City again. When Arsenal fans speak about they're on the same level as what Liverpool and City was, never. No one will ever be on that level of what the two teams were. Um, and hopefully we'll get a similar game on Saturday as well. Anyway, but of course we'll speak about that in tomorrow's episode at least. Anyway, but until next time, guys. First of all, let me know your thoughts on everything we've mentioned. Of course, about Ndicka, Mason Mount, obviously Luis Diaz as well. And other bits and pieces that we've mentioned in the stream as well. If you're new around here, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, like I've said already. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow for the match preview show. But until then, I've been Connor from the Cup Council. See you all tomorrow. Ta-ra.